project way up on the hill. That's the church, and the building with like 5 windows is going to be the coffee shop. Over here is the house and stuff. It's a good ways from us. We're sort of on the far end of the farm. Got Leia with me. New banana plants coming up. More coffee. Big anthill. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the hill. As long as it's not too slippery. Look like some deer tracks. Each of the lots, looks like somebody enjoyed an orange today. Each of the lots are separated by a fence. So here's a fence that separates, you can barely see a piece of barbed wire, should be 2 strands. That little fence right there separates the Parinema from the Lempira. And then when you cross this road, that begins the Yellow Bourbon. If you go all the way down the hill to the waterfall, then there we have Yellow Catuí, we have Icatu, we have, already said Parinema, we have Marciesa and Lempira. Those are the main varieties. Have a little bit of Geisha, but we haven't got that in production yet. So we'll have to see about that next year. This is the end of the Bourbon. So here are new plants. They've been in the ground a couple months. Those are Marciesa. This used to be Yellow Catuí, but it just didn't work out that well. So we kept all the shade that we could. Marciesa likes a little more sunlight, so we kept all we could. You can look over here to the left, and that's our Lempira side. We planted, I think, 2,500 Marciesa in this lot here. This time next year, they'll have enough for us to do a sampling. It'll be at least 2 more years before we have a good crop. Whenever we have to cut down a tree, we save the wood, and the workers can use that to make small fences around their house. This wood they'll use for burning, and we actually sell these. They're about 3 cents a piece, and the guys use them for their fires and their adobe stoves. Other side of that wall is a big pit where we use mixed organic matter. The pulp from the coffee bean, the husk that come off the inner part. Here's our little bridge. There's a river that flows year-round. We had to build a concrete bridge. Oh, Leia's getting her a drink. We had to build a concrete bridge because 2 years ago somebody stole the wooden one that we had. So often when we go camping, we put the tent up on the concrete bridge so that it's nice and flat, and we built us a fire. Pretty good time. Here's where we call the concrete curb. A lot of times I'm not able to get up enough speed when it's slick to make it around that curve, and that's about a 200-foot drop right there. So I had to do a little bit of concrete, and then this rock gives me a place to turn around. So this is one of our pickup points for the coffee. The guys are picking the lot on the left or the lot on the right, and even when the weather's bad, I can get down, get my truck down here and pick it up. And we're going down to the lower part of the farm right now. It's at 1,420 meters. This on the left, it's hard to tell that it's a mountain, but this is Eli Mountain where we're sitting right now. So this is my son Eli's. He put his claim on this one. Then you can see there's some buildings up there. So this is the lowest part of the farm. There's actually a waterfall down here. We're not going to walk down to it because I'm too lazy. This is one of 2 little rivers that come through the farm, or 3 I guess. This one actually is spring water. We had a big rain, so it's still running just a little bit dirty. But this is a tiny little bridge we built so I can cross it with the four-wheeler, and so the guys can cross it also. This next part is not coffee. It's nothing but bananas and cardamom spice. It rained like 2 days ago. There's a lot of springs on the farm, and so they just run water all the time. I've never seen this stretch of rock before, so what little dirt and all was on it must have slid down. That's what I'm standing on now. This is all the junk that used to be covering that rock. And so it's just a spring, keeps it wet all the time. I'm not real sure where it starts at. Here is our cardamom field. The reason we planted cardamom, because there's only about 5, all the coffee died, and we started digging the plants up and we realized there's only about 5 or 10 inches of dirt over this solid rock. So the coffee roots would go down and then go left and right. So as soon as we had a good dry spell, all the coffee plants died. So we started looking for something that we could plant. So these are cardamom. That's the full tree. One of my workers brought me some about 8 years ago. And so 3 years ago, I started transplanting them and harvesting the seeds. And so that's the little flower. I think here's a ripe one. And when the seeds are black, they're ready to be picked. So next week we'll probably come out here and pick them. And those are little cardamom seeds. And it's a spice. You can look up cardamom spice. They have beautiful little tiny flowers. They're about the size of your fingernail. Anyway, you can buy that online also. The closer we get to the waterfall, the louder the water gets. But it's another probably 100 yards, and there's 2 natural springs and the 2 big rivers and the small river all come together, and it's like a 40-foot waterfall right on the edge of our property. If you ever come visit, stay in the apartment, you'll walk down this trail and go hang out and go swimming in the river, and then there's a tiny little 20-foot by 20-foot lake where the water falls down. It's a pretty fun day. Sun's going down pretty quick. Today's Friday, it's my last day here. I haven't had time this week to come out in the farm. So the workers just went home. I figured I would come and hang out a little bit and enjoy the farm. So this is LegacyFarmsCoffee.com. We're in Cerro Bueno, Honduras. You can see us at Instagram at Legacy Farms Coffee 2010, or just Legacy Farms Coffee on Facebook. But give us a share, give us a like, and thanks for watching the video. Sorry it's so long.